this guy is the 1/10 scale version of that car. This 1/8 scale beast right here. After a few basic tuning upgrades, this car was awesome. I am really hoping that with this one, they tuned it correctly out of the box. It seems as though they've already done a better job with the liveries because this is way better than Speed. And of course, now you also have the Majarko from Hosem, also known as the M33, which is pretty much the same thing as that JJRC I just showed you, only this one did come tuned well out of the box. Now this video is already out, but I actually filmed this car first, so some things might seem slightly out of place, but the video will go on. You can see this one's designed to kind of look like the Hoonigan desert truck, even though it's just a short course truck. And this guy, which is the one this is supposed to be, kind of looks Red Bullish, but instead of bulls, they did a flaming red skull, which I am all for. I need to sharpen my sickle. How often do you sharpen your sickle? Now this car has a lot of things. It doesn't mention it, but I'm pretty sure, or at least it doesn't here, chromium steel gears, helical style. I'm pretty sure this does have a center differential, but it doesn't show it. 90 amp waterproof brushless ESC. We have springs in the bag. Interesting. Oh good, yes. So this suspension, while it sits up a little bit high, it's pretty plush feeling. Funny thing is I actually asked for the pink one. This is what I got. Oh yes, yeah, center diff. So this also comes with a speed pinion gear. These have high speed ratings, well, decent speed ratings anyway. Comes with a 3S battery. I'm gonna remove these roof pieces to get this plastic off. This looks like a full size, or at least very close to a full size. Wow, why did they have it plugged in? Don't do that. So it's a soft pack, 5200 milliampere. Here's a full size 6200. It'll fit if you force it. See that? Not too hard, but it pushes against the side of the chassis. Same size packs, except for the plastic casing takes up that little bit of extra room. So this looks like it's probably the real car that they're modeling after. I think they did a really good job with this one. They've got your AMSOIL, they've got your amount oil over here. That says Block A. This wasn't a Ken Block car, a Hoonigan car, was it? A little air inlet for some cooling action of the electronics. Lights on the hood. Those are the only lights on the vehicle, it seems. XT60 as we already saw. Separate receiver here. Center differential underneath this cover. Looks like it is a plastic housing. Metal Mod 1 gears on a 10th scale. That's pretty cool. And a 3670 2850 kV brushless motor. The motor is fully captured by the main mount and by a secondary mount that is adjustable, of course. Like I said, it comes with a taller gear. That's already a pretty good size gear as it is. Full metal oil-filled shocks. Even the lower mounts are metal, just like they were on that one. Flexible, yet still solid plastic. I don't believe we're gonna have easily broken pieces there. The control arms are flexible as well, but still not too flexible. Full-size servo. Metal servo arm, servo saver here, and that is adjustable. Center brace going all the way across the top. We also have extra plastic bracing that triangulates into the center of the chassis in the front and in the rear. We have two center drive shafts coming off the front and the rear of that center diff, looking like steel drive cups. The control arms are fully captured to the knuckle. That's the uppers. The lowers do roughly the same. They have a through bolt and a nut. Same in the rear on top and bottom. The tie rods are not double captured. This uses universal joint style knuckles in the front, and it looks more like dog bones in the rear. Now, I feel like this front suspension might sit up a little bit high. The rear sits down pretty level. Curious if that will settle a little bit after we drive it, as some cars do. It does have adjustable collars if needed, and I am curious if these springs are taller or softer or shorter or what. Yeah, I can't really tell without disassembling it. They seem very similar. There's our speed pinion, which we will be installing to see how fast it goes with both. Tools, extra wheel nuts, extra body clips and tethers, parts list, parts breakdowns, and exploded views. What else we got here? Metal strengthening plates that go from the chassis here and underneath the bumper assembly where the differential mounts. It does do the same thing in the front. Again, that had something similar. How's this center differential feel? Hey, They did it! They tuned the center diff! That's awesome! If you happen to miss it, okay, this is an awesome sign. I'm so happy to see this. My first review on this car was really bad. The center differential was so loose. The way it drove was really bad. So they have fixed that, and same in the front and same in the rear. This car is probably gonna drive really well. And on top of all that, the body is a massive improvement as well. Seriously, thank you for listening. I did a second video showing how much better it was with simple tuning, and it seems like they did it this time. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and confirm. I removed that shock, took out the spring, and the springs that come on the car already are slightly shorter. The extra springs would lift it a little bit higher. That'll give you a little bit more jump absorption if you're gonna do a lot of jumps. I'm gonna leave the short ones that it comes with on these shocks. I just found one more, and really I think the last thing that they improved on that was a complaint on that other big model. They did not overuse the Loctite. This is a screw going into the metal motor mount right there, and it came right out. I am curious if they used any at all. No Loctite at all. I would rather have no Loctite than too much Loctite, but really, let's just get it right from the factory and use one little drop of blue on any screw that goes in the metal. There you go. The transmitter is very simple and just has your basic controls. Oh. Get the speedometer on there. Speedometer. So this is a 90 amp ESC. It might be able to handle just a little bit of 4S. It definitely has power. And speed. And the suspension does look a little goofy. It sits up a little high. Oh wow, and like leans back. It's almost wheeling at full speed. It's because that body's catching air, I'm sure. Oh yeah! That's crazy. Parachuting without even jumping. Whew, she stops good. That's funny. It seriously looks like the car is floating. Oh. Let's see what our speed was. Yeah, okay. Oh no. Maybe like 40 miles an hour? 47. I think that's the same speed the bigger one did. We're gonna put the bigger pinion on it in just a minute. Hopefully we'll get 53 if it doesn't parachute and flip backwards, because it might. Now that taller suspension is not gonna make it good for handling necessarily, as far as cornering and obviously going fast. I was about to say maybe it'll handle bumps, but that was a bump. I've got a nice bumpy off-road area in mind, so we're gonna try that next. That suspension movement is crazy. Probably should stiffen up the rear springs a little bit. Alrighty, let's try the speed pinion. That set screw on the pinion is a 2.5 millimeter. Pinion screw pulled right out easy, and that one does feel like it probably has some Loctite. Yep, definitely used a little bit of red Loctite on there. Obviously they didn't use too much. Looking good. I did switch the battery this time because the other one was gonna slightly diminished, you know, from driving. And I stiffened the rear shocks. Let's see what happens. At least it hasn't actually flipped backwards yet, just kind of floats into a somewhat elegant wheelie. $50 on the dot. All right, just quick pavement test, and then we're gonna go get some dirt. Something does sound a little rough. The other one sounded rough too until I did my upgrades. All right, dirt time. This area over here I think is a little smoother. Oh. You know how I love doing my power slide right here. Whoa. Don't hit Lonnie Von Mower. Hey, that park bench has never been there before. Oh, see, I've already forgot. Little shoe tap. Really dry, lots of dust. Oh. Oh. Hey, a parallel parking. Oh my gosh. Right into the sign. Didn't take much to knock it over. Hit a root. Oh. Oop. Hey, 180 kickflip. Variable flip. Oh, I mis-eyeballed that. Nice. Man. I don't like that park bench. Oh, ooh. I think it's all right. Yeah, we're good probably. That was a good plastics test. All right, look at this fleet of dirt slinging machines. This is my favorite body of the three. I have a soft spot for skull things and Amsoil because I actually used to use that at a shop I worked at a long time ago. Of course, it doesn't actually say Amsoil. So yes, this handles much better on dirt than it does pavement. It's not quite as good as the big one. Some of that's probably mostly just due to size. The tires are different too, which could be part of it. But it drove really well on the dirt. And like I told you, it would probably happen. That front suspension definitely settled a little bit and it doesn't spring up quite as hard. And I still have the rears adjusted just a little bit because of that extra almost too much squat we were getting at first. The suspension is also better on this model. It sits up higher, but that also gives you more ground clearance, which was an issue on the 1/7 scale. 1/8 scale, I mean. A drop from this high with chassis slap on that one. Or this one. Here, we're actually getting full suspension travel without that. If you hold the suspension all the way up though, it does look a little bit awkward. I think it's the wheelbase. I think the wheelbase is a little too close for the size of the body. It looks like the rears should be back a little bit further. When it's sitting down low, it doesn't look quite as awkward. Plenty of power, it handles pretty well. No gyro, would be nice. I always say it's nice with a gyro. It's more challenging without, and for some people, that extra challenge is gonna be fun. You can add gyros for pretty cheap. We did end up with that pretty hard hit on the right side of the front bumper, and everything's looking intact. Bumper did its job. Everything under here looks great. What did we get? 50 miles an hour. So for me, 50 miles an hour is plenty most of the time. Except, of course, for cars like this. This thing's beautiful and it looks amazing at 64 miles an hour. Oh, I forgot to check to see if it'll accept a 4S battery. The manual does not seem to specify, but I'm gonna see if it turns on and works with one real quick. It sure does. You'd probably run into some heat issues, but if you take it easy, you could probably do some 4S action on it. Now, there's not a whole lot of bad stuff I can say about this car. I think it's well made, it's well designed, it's fast, and it handles pretty well, even without a gyro. But one thing to mention is the fact that the drivetrain's kind of noisy, and I can't pinpoint what it is. It could just be the metal gears. It's possible that it's the angle of this front drive shaft going into the differential input. That input is held in with a set screw, and since it goes in at an angle, that wobble could be the cause of our noise. So far, that's my only concern with the car. I think it's awesome, and it's a really great entry into the 1/10 scale short course scene. But before I can truly recommend it, I really want to know what that noise is, and that kind of thing's really hard to pinpoint sometimes. And it's also possible that it's nothing. RC cars, I've got several that make weird noises. There's a lot of parts spinning really fast and a lot of vibration going on that can make noise. But it's sticking out. Something about the noise on this car is really sticking out for me. In my mind. The thing about that angle there is most cars have that because the front differentials are usually angled back a little bit. I don't know, I really like this car, so I don't want to, if that noise isn't a big deal, I don't want to turn you off to it, but at the same time, that noise could be a big deal. The other thing is the fact that it only comes in $40 less than an Arma Centon. Maybe it'll go on sale or they'll lower the price, but that price point makes it kind of a hard sell. This truck has a lot of potential, so I would love to hear from the manufacturer about what that noise might be and if it's going to be fixed in the future, because just about everything else, except probably a slightly higher price point than it should be, is really awesome on this truck.